Hey guys, what's up? CaptainTurbo here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI on the Game Boy Advance. I was about to say Grey Boy Advance. At the last part, we pretty much got wrecked by the Fanatics Tower, and I want to thank my friend Dyne for this. I did not know what I'm about to pick up existed. Didn't know. If I'd known, it would have made the game so much fucking easier. Alright, so basically we're going to be leaving the Fanatics Tower for a while. For this, bring whoever you like, as long as they're strong enough to go to, I'm trying to remember the name of the town. It's been a while. But the one thing you must have in the party is Mog. I believe you must have him anyway. But yeah, we're going to be going back to pretty much the first town for a short visit. And yeah, I pretty much just have to think about it because I know I'm going to have to get a couple of random encounters. I forgot to mention earlier, but we got the Holy Sword, Holy Lance as well, but this is a different recording, so unfortunately that's not there anymore. As I said, fuck-ups with editing, fuck-ups with files, what can I do? What can I do about it, really? So yeah, Christ, I'm trying to remember the name of the first town we were at. I keep thinking Realm, but that's the name of the character. Fuck, what is it? Nourish, there you go. The reason I come back out is because I realize my party is not in the best of shape, so I just make sure everyone is completely healed up, everyone has enough MP and stuff to make sure we get through here in one piece. It doesn't take very long, thankfully, the tent, so... Cut into where I go to, we got Mog to join our party. Back in that cave, if you remember. Which is right here. Alright. You could have gotten this the moment Mog joined the party. Now, the Moogle charm, or as it's called here, the... Malulu's, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I'll just call it Malulu's charm. Or the Mog charm, as I usually call it, is essentially no random encounters. Including the Fanatics Tower as well. How did I not know this existed? So essentially what happened was, I went on Twitter and I was complaining, I either went on Twitter or I went on Skype, I can't remember, and I basically just posted a really fucking angry comment about getting pissed off at the Fanatics Tower. And Dyne suggested the Mog charm. Here's the thing, I didn't know what it was. I'd never seen it before. I'd never even seen it in a Let's Play before, as far as I can remember. And basically I asked what it was, and he told me how to get it. And he said basically it makes the Fanatics Tower a cakewalk. And I thought, you know what, anything to make my job any easier. So he told me where to get it. I went back and got it. Let's just say I keep Mog in my party for a pretty fucking long time. I won't... Sorry guys, I was just stretching, my back is aching. I won't lie, I use Mog now pretty much until end game. I don't bring in for Kafka's Tower because, you know, I kind of wanted to show off some of the encounters there, but I did keep him in my party pretty much everywhere else because from now on, no more random encounters. It's going to be pretty much all getting point A to point B and fighting bosses. Now that might sound a bit boring. I know I can't really disagree with you, but you have to understand, and you know, this isn't really a good excuse, but for me it's the only excuse I have. I was getting bored at this point, guys. The game's still fun, don't get me wrong, but because of so many failed fucking savings and save states and stuff, and corrupted files and missing audio, commentary audio and stuff, this ended up being a very bad game to record, and Do you know what? Fuck it, I'll go more into this just with final thoughts. Let's just say at this point I was wanting the game done. So yeah, I come basically to see if there's anything I can get to upgrade my equipment, but unfortunately there's really not much you can get. You know, you can definitely upgrade a few things like your diamond vests and stuff, but for the most part you're gonna be sticking with what you've already gotten at this point. There's not really a whole lot more to pick up. Heading back in the airship, as you can see here, and I believe we're heading back to the Fanatics tower again. Whoever put this in the game, fuck you, Nintendo. Or fuck you, Square Enix, I should say. Or it should just be Square, actually. So we've gone from Nintendo to Square Enix to Square. Okay. And I believe it's time once again to change up my party. Definitely make sure you bring Mog for this section. Yeah, basically I'm in two minds of who to bring as my fourth character. At this point, I kind of tempt myself with Go-Go, but in the end, yeah, I end up going through Maru again. Mog, unfortunately, isn't going to be much use for the boss of this area, or the Fanatics Tower, I should say. But as I say, he makes the actual towers pretty much skippable. I mean, you'll have to go up the tower, but you don't have to fight any enemies. So it's kind of a trade-off, really, unless you've actually taken the time to grind him up a bit and, you know, get his magic and all that high. And my throat is a little bit dry. After this part, I'm going to have to go get a drink. So yeah, it's currently the middle of July. As I said earlier, it's been fucking hot recently. I've had very little to actually... I've had very little patience to actually sit down and record Let's Plays. I'm going to be honest, guys, I've got like... the next two Let's Plays already done. You know, I've always recorded in advance, as you know about this. I'm going to be doing 2 games post-commentary though, just because, at least 2 games post-commentary, just because it's been way too hot to do gameplay and commentary at the same time. As I said, I've also been pretty ill as well recently, so that didn't help either. So yeah, messing around some still with the team setup. The first time in a while you've not seen Sabin as the character, on-screen character. At least on the map, I mean. So we come back to Hell. Just checking upon the relics everyone has. Hyper Wrist, which will be a bit of a beast boost to his thingy, but Berserker Ring will also do the same. So I end up going with the Berserker Ring. Is it I go for with Mog. Reflect Ring as well. Unfortunately, I don't really have much good in terms of equipment for him. Yeah, the reason I equipped the Force Shield, even though my defense and evasion took a hit, is because obviously this is a magic tower, so you know the enemies tend to favor using magical attacks over physical attacks. You gotta like the some of the portraits you have for the characters here. Mog's pretty cool. It's like, I'm Batman. Didn't they put the Moogles and some of the other Final Fantasy creatures in a Mario Party-esque game or something. I remember it had games like Ice Hockey and a couple others. What game was that? You know, it had a couple Square Enix things in it. I can't remember what that game was. Never had it. I just remember seeing it. But yeah, look at this. No encounters whatsoever. The Moogle charm is a fucking godsend. Make sure you pick it up at all costs. And just to make sure you understand why I have Mog in the party, only Mog can equip it. None of the other characters can use it. And come back here. Obviously, I've already opened the chest. I like the music here. The reason, I'm not gonna lie guys, the reason I edited that part out was because it showed that the dragon was alive, even though you saw me beat it earlier. But yeah, that was basically a fuck up on my end, as I said before, with saving and all that, so yeah, we get the force armor again here. And unfortunately, Mog cannot equip the force armor. Unfortunately, magic defense will go down, even though the evasion will go up. But thankfully, Terra can equip it without really losing anything too valuable. Blah. This is the end of the road here. Going here. I keep checking here. I think there's an elixir in one of these for some reason. And we got the Soul of Famasa. Unfortunately, now we've got the Soul of Famasa, we kind of get surrounded by these fuckers. Oh, I want to blitz all of your asses. Lord Kefka's treasure. Return the treasure. And it's Squid Ghost! Hooray! We haven't seen Squid Ghost for a while. Actually, this isn't the same ones as earlier. This thing will attack you in a moment. You can't avoid getting attacked, unfortunately. At least as far as I know. There might be some kind of glitch. And yet, speed up again. Why? Because I died twice to this fucker. With the same attack. So, this thing's basic pattern is every time it gets hit, or every time... basically every time it gets hit, or I believe after a certain amount of time has passed, it will change what its weakness is. So you use that. So you use that spell basically that will tell you what its weakness is. Its weakness will change the minute you've used it, which means it's fucking useless here. So my advice: use Amaru, and I think you can use Go-Go as well. Have them physically attack this guy. And just have the rest of the party there to act for cannon fodder, and if you need to heal up the hard hitters, because physical attacks are pretty much your only way to win this. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck here for a while trying to figure out how to beat him when you don't know what his weakness is, when he's constantly changing up his weakness. It's, in my opinion, it's not that hard of a boss, but it's one of the most annoying bosses in the entire fucking game. Fucking barrier change is so annoying. I hate it. I fucking hate it. See, even the Aspers aren't doing any damage here either. And I believe on the third time I fight the guy, I do slow the music down, so you get to listen to the actual proper music, not the chipmunk version. But yeah, the reason I wanted to do this Sorry, I nearly choked to death there. The reason I'm doing this, and I'm not editing this out, is because I died twice to a very unfair move. Alright, I'm going to explain what it is. As soon as you've basically got this guy down to like 1 HP or something, he will use, what is it? Is it Meteor? He'll basically use a move that unless your characters are above 8,000 HP, they're not going to survive. It's like a final desperation attack. And as far as I'm aware, you can't avoid it either. I tried using things like float and stuff, didn't work. I tried using a couple other things. This was last year. Ultima, that's it. Beat the guy, fucking died to Ultima. I said, I think you need above 8,000 HP, which I had last year. When I played the game with Sabin, I already had him above 8,000 HP. So he was able to survive the attack. I did not know you needed to do something else. So I died a second time to this guy, what you're going to see in a few minutes. I got so fucking pissed off. Again here, that I actually had to go up online and look at how am I supposed to beat this guy without just becoming completely and utterly overpowered. And I found out that auto life needs to be equipped to the party before Ultima strikes. Didn't think of that. I hate this boss. I fucking hate this boss so much. Looks like a crappy anime character anyway, with his goofy appearance. So yeah, I tried a couple of tactics here. As you can see, I've got the characters disappearing. Obviously they're back now. Nothing really works. Weak against wind. That might have gone a bit quick, but it said weak against wind, but as soon as that went up, he got barrier change, which means his weakness was something else, which is why there's no point in checking what his skills and weaknesses are. You know, and you know, if you're using magic here, you're just basically rolling the dice and hoping that you get lucky with whatever it is that his weakness actually is. You know, best case scenario, you get him. Middle case scenario, your attack won't do anything. And worst case scenario is the fact that your spell will actually heal him. Yeah, so this is definitely one of the worst bosses in the game, just for that reason. I don't like it when games change something up like this, you know, for the first time near the end of the game. You know, it's not something you're used to, it's not something that, you know, you've got really much practice in doing. It's very... I find it very unfair, to be honest. I say, it's not like this guy actually hits very hard either, especially with my setup. You know, I have Reflect on, so his magical attacks aren't going to do much at all, apart from that last one. So yeah, Omara has Float, which means I think if any one of you uses Quake, he should be alright. You see, I got lucky there with that Blizzard attack that he used, or that Ice attack I should say. Three fucking hours spent on this tower. Fucking hated it. Didn't like it the first time I played last year. Didn't like it earlier in this year. Ah, Libra, that's the name of the attack. As you can see, his HP is at 48, which means one more attack from Amaru will pretty much should do him in. But he uses Ultima again. And it kills my entire fucking party! Yeah, the reason I let that run is because at this point I was so pissed off. Bullshit, yeah! I remember, I think I actually let my head at the desk at this point, because this was the second time I'd screwed it up. I was just so fucking bored with this tower. So yeah, attempt number 3. Here we go. And here's the one that actually counts. As you can see, I now have Locke in the party. I also have Morgan and Mara in opposite places. Unfortunately, a couple of the characters don't really have much in terms of a great number of spells, so unfortunately not a whole lot I can do about that. Yeah, since everything's slowed down here, you can see everything a little bit better. Every time he gets hit, as I said, he's changing his... he's using barrier, change what's fuel, as I said, change what he's weak to. And yeah, one of Mara's more powerful attacks is when he throws a team member into the enemy, you'll do at least a couple thousand damage. Unfortunately, at this point, Mog doesn't actually have any attacks. At least magical attacks, anyway. And we're doing pretty well, actually, for damage here. We're already knocked off a good 10,000 of his HP. Probably more than that. So yeah, Arise is actually the name of the spell. I think. We'll see towards the end of this battle anyway. And for some reason, I don't know why, I probably should, but I don't. Mario is pretty good against magical attacks anyway, so I didn't bother keeping the Reflect Ring on him. As you saw there, he absorbed some of that. Now with that, Amara will, or Amaru, I'll just call it Amara. Amara will automatically come back to life should he fall in battle. At least that is the plan. I swear I've used it before and it hasn't worked. For whatever reason, I can't explain. It just chooses when and when it doesn't work. But yeah, guys, you'll be happy to know, I believe this episode will be the last time we are at the Fanatics Tower. After this, no more Fanatics Tower, we can get on with the rest of the fucking game. I think is Quatzilla supposed to be, as you can see you got healed there, is Quatzilla or whatever it was that was called supposed to be the same as Quasitacotl from Final Fantasy VIII? Just obviously with a more updated translation? Not sure. Speaking of 8, I decided to pick it up and try it again. I'm still not really enjoying the story of the characters. I'm a little bit more forgiving of the battle mechanic now. The only reason I particularly like 8 is because the best way to beat the game is by keeping very low level. So yeah, I think, and I apologize if that's the case here, at some point during this battle, I actually accidentally knocked the, what do you call it, I accidentally hit the stop button on the record. But wait, yep, I did do it this time. Thankfully, Umara survived, which means we fucking win the fight. Now, another interesting little story here. I managed to, as I said, I beat this a year ago. First time I played this tower and that boss, I managed to beat it. problem was you have to get back down the tower, and I only had, I think it was saving left. And coming back down the tower, I died, which means it didn't count. So I had to do the boss again. Yeah, come back in here because I am so sure there's something in here, but as far as I can see, and as far as I find, there's nothing. If there is something there, I apologize, I just couldn't find it. Yeah, we're gonna take the long walk down because fuck yeah, this is a victory lap. Fucking Fanatics Tower is finished. You have no idea how happy that makes me. I'm gonna shed a tear. And damn it, my throat's really killing me now. I need to go get a drink as soon as this part's over. As I said, there is a dragon here because of corrupted save files, so I will come back and do that off screen. You've already seen me do it, so you know I can do it pretty easily actually. And yeah, just for clarification, all of the dragons will be beaten before the end of the game. And down the tower. I kicked all your asses. It took me a lot of time and effort and a lot of saves, but I fucking did it. Hooray. But yeah, that's the reason I don't like that boss, is I don't like desperation attacks like Ultima and stuff. I think it's a very fucking cheap way to rip you off. Yeah, if the guy's dead, the guy is dead. Anyway guys, we're coming to the end of this part as well. For what it's worth, I hope you enjoyed this. I promise we can go on from here on now. Plenty of places still to go before Kafka's Tower, so let's get some shit done. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next part. But until then, have a good night.